Where is co-op? Where is co-op? Where has co-op gone? Oh, there it is. AI co-op for a few days. And we can get another new kit from another AI event. And we got a special event to trial Smart Assist. Konami, FC25 is out tomorrow. They know that. This is the 1 week they need to give us more reasons to play the game and stop people from going and playing that instead. And they've done the opposite. What on earth are they doing? Anyway, now that I've got that rant out of the way, we're going to take a look at Player of the Week. I'll give you a quick overview of the other packs they've added. Have they added some exciting packs to keep us from going and playing FC25? Not really, no. They have added a bunch of packs. So what have they added? Player of the Week will come to that. We've got a Brazilian League pack. This is exciting. Look at this. We've got no less than 3 5-star players in this 8-player pack. Wow. Yeah, shut up and take my coins. They have added also English League, Spanish League, and Italian League selections. The same kind of selections that we've had previously. So I will do videos reviewing those separately. Outside of that, no new legend stuff. No new anything, really. I will be streaming this afternoon about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. I'm going to be doing my 73 spins, trying to get Brazier and Seaman. So tune in for that if you're around. But in this video, we're going to be looking at Player of the Week. So as always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player. So if there's a particular player you want to hear about, click in the description. There'll be a link to take you straight to them. And we'll start with our one and only 4-star. And that is Abdülkerim Bardakcı. I've probably just butchered his name again because I only spoke about him the other day. He's in the current Player of the Month pack from the Turkish League. So something to keep in mind, because there is a version of this guy that's available with a 4-star contract. There's been a previous trainable version that was in I think a Turkish League pack. This one's slightly better than that. There's been a previous Player of the Week version of him and this one was slightly better than that one as well. But to compare this one to the Player of the Month version that's currently available for a 4-star nominating contract, what you basically got with this one is you've got a bit more speed and you've got a bit more stamina, but the Player of the Month one has a bit more physical contact and heading, and also this one has first time shot, whereas the Player of the Month one has acrobatic clearance. So depending on what you consider to be important, you might prefer the Player of the Month one. This one obviously is mainly the speed. I don't think first time shot's that useful on a centre back. If you're not too bothered about the speed at all and you'd prefer a bit of physicality and the acrobatic clearance skill, then I think Player of the Month one would be the better one for you. But in terms of the stats, apart from that, not much difference really. But to compare him to his GP card as well, same playing style. All the versions of him are destroyers, centre back, and they're all big, physical, slow centre backs really. But compared to his GP card, they have boosted his pace and they're taking a little bit off his defending for some strange reason. But otherwise, it's a fairly nice boost compared to his GP card. And along with first time shot, they've also added interception. That's also on his Player of the Month card for what it's worth. But yeah, you've got a pretty strong section of skills on this guy now. So man marking, interception, blocker, aerial superiority. Would be nice if you had heading, acrobatic clearance, sliding tackle. Those aren't crucial. He does have a pretty good heading attribute there. So yeah, pretty good selection of skills. Even though they've nerfed him slightly defensively for some reason compared to his GP card, he's still fairly strong defensively. Could be strong, but this is a 4-star card. Obviously he's not great in the ball. Passing could be worse actually for a big kind of physical destroyer. And the pace still slow. Yes, they boosted that. It's probably the quickest version of Bard actually that we've had in the game, but he's still a bit slower. So if you like a bit of pace in a centre back, look away because this guy's not for you. But if you really don't mind a centre back being slow, that might not be an issue for you obviously. Kicking powers are not brilliant, but as well as the defending being alright, his aerial and physical are alright as well. 6'3", jumping 84, physical 90. He's got aerial superiority, heading 86. So yeah, he's going to be strong physically, aerially, defensively. Not amazing by any means. Got unwavering form as well. So ultimately, yeah, I think the main issue is the pace. You know, I don't see any other real weakness there. Yes, he could be stronger defensively and in some other areas, but he's strong enough. He is a 4-star card. But ultimately, I think it's a pretty good version of Bardakcı, but it's very much a 4-star card. For a 4-star, if you don't mind the lack of pace, could be good for you. But other than that, yeah, he is a bit slow, and he is a 4-star card, so he's certainly not a top centre back by a stretch. But he's got some qualities there for sure for a 4-star at least. And now we have another Romelu card. So we've had quite a few versions of Lukaku. We've had some fairly similar level Player of the Week cards. We've had some trainable versions. Some of the trainable versions of Lukaku that we've had have been a bit better than this one. Still a decent version though, statistically, but one interesting change. They made him a deep lying forward. He's normally a fox in the box. We've now got a deep lying forward version of Lukaku. And what they've done with the attributes, it's another strange one. And I'm going to try not to rant too much, but 3 attributes they've taken down a bit. It's his dexterity, attacking awareness, acceleration, balance. They've all been reduced slightly. 3 of the most important attributes in a striker. Why are you doing that? Why? But on the flip side, big boost to his low pass. And if you're going to make a deep line forward, that's what you need to do. And they've done it. So he's had a big boost to his low pass. It's not amazing. He's not got amazing passing now, but certainly a lot better. And it's decent on a centre forward. And in his skills, we've lost captaincy. It's no biggie, I don't think, but they've added through passing. So we've got one touch pass and through passing now with that increase to his passing. So again, he's still not got great passing, but for a centre forward, a 74 is not too bad at all. And he's got one touch pass and through passing. Obviously, he's still got first time shot, acrobatic finishing, long range curler. Outside curler's a nice one. And down air penalties, gamesmanship, track back, flying spirit. But yeah, he's got some of the most important ones. Heading would be nice on a big physical guy, but yeah, he can't have it all, I guess. I think he's got a pretty good selection of skills. Is he good as a deep line forward? He's decent. Got fairly average pace. Obviously got good kicking power, physical contact, as you'd expect on Lukaku. Not got great jumping, no heading or aerial superiority. Heading 81, so is he going to be any good at heading? He's not going to be terrible, but he could be a lot better. Balance is poor. As I mentioned, they've reduced that slightly. Stamina's not too bad. Not great on the ball. Attacking awareness, again, they've taken it down slightly, so even with your game plan boost, you're only going to get out to about 87, 88, so a bit frustrating. Finishing still going to hit 90 though, which is great. This is the area of concern for me. As a deep line forward, he will drop a bit deeper than most strikers and he'll be getting involved in the build-up. He's not comfortable on the ball. He's not got great technical attributes. He's got poor balance. So does he suit the playing style? No, not for me. It's just the technicals, really. You can live with the balance if he's a very physically strong guy, as long as he's got slightly, at least reasonable technique on the ball, but he doesn't. He's not comfortable on the ball. So for me, he needs to be, he'll be a lot better with that fox in the box playing style, unfortunately. And especially with 1 or 2 skills to improve his aerial ability. So has he got qualities? Yes. Is it a decent version of Lukaku? Yes, but I don't personally like that playing style. I don't personally think the way he's built here suits that playing style. And there have been quite a few versions of Lukaku that I personally think are better than this. So yeah, he's got some qualities there. Certainly, if you like the deep line forward playing style, you like a player of this profile, big physical guy, then he could be one that you like. But I think for a lot of people, it won't be a most exciting version of Lukaku that we've had. And now we have our first feature version of Troy Parrott. So he's joined AZ in the Netherlands from Spurs. And he scored 4 goals against Heerenveen at the weekend. So great performance. I had a feeling they'd be in. They have changed him almost the opposite of Lukaku. So he's normally a deep line forward, Troy Parrott, but he's been changed to a goal poacher. I personally think that's an upgrade. Again, it's personal preference. In terms of what they've done with the attributes, we've got a bit less balance than he normally has compared to his GP card. But apart from that, it's a fairly nice boost across the board. And the main qualities are obvious. Attack, awareness and finishing. Both of those will hit 90 with the game plan boost. So that's fantastic on a... Oh, wait, I was going to say on a 4-star. He's not a 4-star. He's just about a 5-star, 92 rated. But yeah, looking at the attributes, I mean, outside of the awareness and the finishing, which are great, the rest of his attributes, it kind of looks like a 3-star or a 4-star, to be honest. Not brilliant, but those are the 2 most important attributes. On the ball, not brilliant. Passing, he's alright for a striker, to be fair. Pace, this is the one on the goal poacher. I always say it on a goal poacher, it's important to have some pace. He's not slow, but he's not particularly quick either. Kicking power's alright. Physical contact's alright. On a goal poacher, balance, yeah, that's not brilliant. Stamina, kind of bit iffy. They have boosted his weaker foot. Given him a big boost, so his weaker foot is very strong now. Still only got rare usage of his weaker foot though. So have a look at his skills. They've added long range curler, that's about it. He's already got a decent selection, to be fair, for goal poacher. First time shot, acrobatic finishing, long range curler now as well. Chip shots, rising shots, outside curlers, and nice ones to have. Fighting spirit. So yeah, as a goal poacher, he certainly could be worse. the two most important attributes are great, but outside of those, he is lacking. So I was expecting this guy might be a 4-star card, to be honest. They do put 1, 2, 4 stars in sometimes. Obviously, Bardakcı is a 4-star this week. I was expecting to be a 4-star, so it could have been worse, but he's barely a 5-star. The star rating's kind of irrelevant. It's not like we have matchmaking filters, which we should, Konami. But yeah, it's a better version of Troy Parrott than I expected it would be. He's got great awareness and finishing, so in terms of being in the right place at the right time to score goals for you, very effective, good selection of skills. But outside those two attributes, if you want your goal poachers to have real pace about them, if you want to be a bit more confident on the ball, a bit more balanced, he is a bit lacking. So as I say, he's barely a 5-star, but he is a better version of Troy Parrott than he could have been. So yeah, I think if you're a fan of Spurs, of RZ, if you're Irish perhaps, then he could be a really good card to pick up. But for most people, outside the awareness and finishing, it's nothing special. And now we've got David Raya. So we've had a few versions of David Raya. There was a Champions League Player of the Week version that was really nice. 1 or 2 other previous versions that were trainable. This version is not quite as good as previous versions, but it's still pretty good. Obviously, they've nerfed his goalkeeping. I'm not going to rant about that. I've given up on that. But yeah, the goalie attribute is pretty strong. Frustratingly, they've reduced his reflexes by 1. So if you get his GP card and train it up with auto allocation, his reflexes are 87. But when he's Player of the Week, only 86. But add a bit of a boost elsewhere, though, to be fair. So the awareness is great. You're already on 90 before your game plan boost. Catching and parrying are both pretty decent. Reflexes still not bad, even if they've taken 1 off for some absurd reason. But yeah, 86, I would want a bit more in a 5-star keeper. And then the reach is good. It needs to be, though. 183, sorry, 6 foot tall. That's not tall for a goalkeeper. Reach 89. He does need that. Skill-wise, low punt, long throw, the usual skills. So yeah, if you've not got a good version of Raya and you want one, you'll be pleased with this. It's a pretty good card. The reflexes could have been higher, but I guess they don't want to make everything too high. They don't want these cards to be too good. It'd be crazy good with the reflexes being higher. But yeah, not as good as it perhaps could have been. Not as good, I don't think, as the previous versions of Raya, but still a pretty decent keeper to have, and certainly for the English League Challenge, it could be a useful one to have if you don't have many keepers for the English League Challenge when that pops up. So yeah, not as good as it could have been. Not an amazing keeper, but certainly a pretty good one. And next up, we have our first version of Callum Hudson-Odoi. I was convinced we'd had 1 or 2 before, maybe a Chelsea one from a club pack back in the day, but I can't see any on eFootball Hub. So it looks like our first highlight card of Hudson-Odoi, or trending card, whatever you call them these days. So what have they done with him? They have changed him from a prolific winger to hole player. So normally prolific winger will be active as a wide forward left or right, but he won't have an active playing style left or right midfield. But now he's a hole player. He'll be a whole player left, right midfield, but you won't have an active playing style as a left wing or right wing forward. So, down to personal preference, I guess. If you play with wide forwards, you'd have preferred him to still be prolific winger. I personally use wide midfielders and not wide forwards, so it's better for me, whole player. But that's what they've done. He's got unwavering form. Wasn't expecting that, but that's a positive. What have they done compared to his GP card? We don't have other feature versions to compare him to, so got a bit less attacking awareness. Strange, but end product is up. Passing and finishing has been improved. That's good. We got +3 on speed, -5 on acceleration. Okay. Apart from that, fairly nice boost compared to his GP card. He's looking pretty decent, this guy. Let's have a look at his skills. So, okay, they've taken away Rabona and gamesmanship, and they've added long range shooting and super sub. Interesting. Could be a pretty handy super sub, this guy. So we've got a few skill moves there. The dribblers might quite like this guy. Soul control. And then with the shooting, we're long range curler, dipping shot, long range shooting, pinpoint crossing as well. Bit of end product with that. Heel trick's nice. Can he cross the ball? So he's got 81 lofted pass, 81 curl, 77 kicking power. He's not got great crossing, but with pinpoint crossing, it'll be decent. Kind of reasonable to decent. Don't ask too much with his crossing, but yeah, he should be capable of putting a cross in. Right-footed, he can play both flanks. So if you play him on the right, you like putting crosses in, he could be decent for you. Finishing 81 is good. So with those shooting skills, long range curler, long range shooting, 81 finishing, 81 curl, his long range curler should be pretty nice. I think he's probably going to be most effective coming off the left flank, which is where what they've got him down as a left midfielder. good pace, decent balance, not the best stamina, maybe his best as a super sub. Pretty decent on the ball, the dribbling is hitting 90 with the game plan boost. And as I mentioned, they're giving him a nice boost on his end product, so yes, his low pass still isn't brilliant, but it could be worse, and he's got a reasonable cross on him, and he can shoot as well, so yeah, I think ultimately this is a fairly nice looking Hudson-Odoi card. If you've always wanted, if you like the guy, you've been waiting all this time for a feature version, then you'll obviously be very keen to get him. Forest fans, I'm sure, will be very keen to get him. He's not on the kind of top level of wingers for sure, but I think this is a decent looking card. I think this is a card that if you get this card, he might have been getting straight in a team, but especially as an option in the English League Challenge, or even outside of that, if he has form in any given week like this week, I think he's pretty usable with the pace, being good on the ball, bit of end product. Can play either flank, unwavering form, super sub. I think he's got quite a lot going for him, so it's a decent card this to me. So we move on straight to another winger who has the same positions. He can play wide midfield, wide forward. So this is the playing style Hudson-Odoi normally has. Prolific winger, which is active as a wide forward or wing forward, whatever you call it, left or right, but he won't have an active playing style left or right midfield, but he can play all those positions. So we've got a winger who can play on either flank. Obviously, he's very two-footed, inconsistent form. I think he deserves that to have that upgraded now. He seems to be playing every week, playing pretty well every week in Ligue 1. But yeah, pace, great on the ball. End product a bit iffy there. Decent finishing. It's pretty much what you'd expect. Not too dissimilar to Hudson-Odoi, really. Slightly better though. What have they changed though? I mean, we've had better versions of Dembélé. If you look at the previous versions of Dembélé, the kind of player of the week ones and trainable ones, this is certainly not the best, but it's still a decent one. What have they done compared to his GP card? They've given him a big boost on his jumping and his heading. Big boost on his jumping and heading. His finishing's had a nice boost. His stamina's had a bit of a boost. They've taken a bit away from his balance. Why do they keep doing that? They seem to they're developing an obsession with attacking players having less balance when they play well. Oh, here we go. So we've got a winger. He's got 4 less ball control and 4 less dribbling than his GP card. How predictable. So there we go. But apart from that, yeah, very nice boost. So we got a winger who's not quite as good at dribbling, but he's better at heading and jumping. Excellent. And they've given him heading and aerial superiority as well. So heading, aerial superiority, jumping 71, heading 72. So he's usually terrible in the air, and now he's just bad in the air. Excellent. What else they've done with the skills? So we've lost Rabona, dipping shot, and heel trick. Obviously heading and aerial superiority. We've also got first time shot, so that is good. So we've got a bunch of skill moves still for the dribblers. Soul control, so he's going to be great on the ball. But yeah, first time shot. We've got through passing and pinpoint crossing. Those are already there. But his passing attributes aren't great though. So when it comes to the through passing and the pinpoint crossing, yes, he's going to be better at those with those skills, but he's still not going to be great. Don't ask too much for him when you're kind of passing and crossing. But certainly with the finishing, first time shot now, 81 finishing, 80 curl, 80 kicking power. Long range curler would have been nice, to be honest. So yeah, inconsistent form with a light long range curler, with a light and not to nerf certain attributes compared to his GP card. There's a bunch of reasons why you could look at this card and be a bit disappointed, to be honest, but he does still have qualities. I think it's just another card where if you don't have a good version of Dembélé, if you've either got just the GP card or no version of him at all, then it's certainly a good one to have. But in a bunch of areas, they could have made him better. So for sure, it's a good card, but it just could have been better, unfortunately. And now we have Conor Gallagher scored his first goal for Atletico Madrid. It's another one I predicted, and it's pretty much as I expected it would be. Box to box as he always is, centre midfielder. Nothing's really changed with the positions or the playing style. And in terms of what they've done with him, slightly nerfed his passing, his speed, his kicking power. But apart from that, a fairly nice boost across the board. But unfortunately for me, it's not enough of a boost for it to really be a particularly exciting card. Yeah, we've had previous trainable versions that I think that look like they're probably better than this one. This isn't great to me. It's not trainable. The passing's a bit there. On the ball, yeah, that's fine. He's tidy on the ball. Attacking balance is pretty good. Finishing, nah. Defensively, a bit dodgy. Pace, not the quickest. Kicking power's okay. Physical contact's okay. Balance is a bit dodgy. Fantastic stamina, so yeah, he's tidy enough on the ball. He's got great stamina. Outside of that, nah, nothing really exciting me here at all. what they've done with the skills. They've added track back. Hooray. We've got one touch pass, but no through passing, no interception. We've got a few skills with the shooting. But yeah, honestly, if you really like this guy, if you really, you know, you don't have a good version of him, I guess you'd be pleased to get this card. But just to be brutally honest, to look at this card in isolation for what it is, it's a very mere centre midfielder, to be honest. And if I get this card, it's getting released. So yeah, it could be worse for sure. If you're new to the game, it could be used for one, but it really isn't a particularly interesting card to me. And this is a card that could have been interesting, but unfortunately, I don't think they've really made this a particularly exciting version of Théo Hernández. So one good thing from my personal perspective, they changed him from a fullback finisher to an attacking fullback. I prefer that playing style, so that is good. But comparing this guy to previous versions, other than the trainable ones, player of the week ones, not an exciting version. They did a centre-back version, it was extra front man, but that was one where to get the most out of that one, if you played that at left back, and especially if you put defensive on him and use him as a defensive fullback, I think that was a very good card, better than this one. There was a left back version that I think I got. I think it was an attacking fullback, might have been a fullback finisher as normal playing style, but that was a bit better than this one, I think, as well. And the trainable ones, I find you take a bit away from the pace, you can really beef them up with some of the other defending and technical attributes. Can't train this one. Yeah, he's got pace, got stamina, but you look outside of that, yeah, he's decent. You know, I mean, compared to his GP card, they put his technicals up a little bit. He's got a bit of a boost on physical contact. His attacking awareness is up. I mean, 80 attacking awareness. He's a very attacking fullback with that 80 attacking awareness. He's definitely going to be looking to get forward. Of course, they boosted his finishing as well, but speed down by 7 from his GP card. Acceleration up by 5 though. Balance isn't great. He's not brilliant at defending. This is a booster. I'm going to activate the booster. So what happens? He's a little bit more aggressive. Acceleration. So he gets some acceleration back. Good. In fact, the acceleration was already up. My bad. So that's even higher. Okay, great. Physical contact even more on that. Good. So that's boosted even more compared to his GP card. Outstanding stamina. So yeah, certainly some qualities there. If you don't have a good version of Théo, it's not a bad attacking left back, but it's a very attacking left back because he's not great at defending. Have they given him any defensive skills? Okay, so they give him interception. He doesn't normally have a good set of defensive skills. They've given him interception at least, and sliding tackle. And what have they removed to make room for them? Dipping shot and gamesmanship. Okay, it's a good trade-off. So interception and sliding tackle, 2 good skills to add. So in that respect, skill-wise, it's an upgrade for sure. Going forward, we've got pinpoint crossing, through passing, long-range shooting, rising and knuckle shots, nice, couple of skill moves. So skill-wise, for an attacking fullback, for a very attacking fullback, I think that's a good selection of skills. He's not bad technically, but he's not brilliant either. It's just that, yeah, defensively he's not brilliant. He's going to be getting forward quite a bit and having better versions previously. So yeah, again, whether he's got the A-form boost or not, it's not as good a version of Théo as we've had previously, and I don't think it's as good as it could have been. But if you don't have a good version of him and you want one, if you don't have many left back options, and certainly if you like a very attacking left back, it certainly could be a good card for you. Just not as good as I personally feel like it could have been. And now we have De Ligt. So I expected this guy to be in. Scored for Man U, had a good game. Not changed much about him. Build up, centre back, same as usual. Defending slightly down from his GP card for some reason, but a bit more pace than normal, a bit more physicals as well. Nice boost on his stamina. Skill wise, they've just added sliding tackle. So heading and air superiority, and then man marking, interception, blocker, sliding tackle, right clearance, fighting spirit, and they've got weighted pass, long range shooting, great. Yeah, great selection of skills. Pretty good centre back. We've had better versions of De Ligt. I've had a couple of versions of De Ligt that's slightly better than this. I would say the free version we got around was it late last year? I think it was a Halloween one. I would say that's slightly better, and you can train it, but this is still a decent version. The engagement's a bit dodgy to me. Yes, you've got 90 on the awareness, and tackling is going past 90 with the game plan boost as well. Got a reasonable level of aggression there, but engagement 84 is not brilliant on a 5-star player of the week centre back. Pace, bit quicker than he can be, so yeah, you've got reasonable pace on this guy. Acceleration as well. Some versions have pretty poor acceleration, so the pace is decent. Kicking power hitting 80, that's pretty good for a centre back. Stamina, as I mentioned, he's done a nice boost. He's got good stamina, and the aerial and physicals are good. So yeah, and technically he's pretty sound. I mean, even the ball control is hitting 70 with the game plan boost, so pretty sound technically. So if you've not got a good version of De Ligt, I think this is a very good centre back to pick up. Not perfect. I think the engagement's a bit dodgy. Apart from that, everything's fine. Might not be the best version of him that we've had, but it's a pretty good one. Great selection of skills. So yeah, I would say it's not the best and it could have been better, but I think ultimately you can't complain too much. Could have been better for sure, but this is a good version of De Ligt. It's a good size centre back, and if you don't have a good version of already, certainly I think it'd be a very good card to pick up. And now we have one which I do like the look of. So some of the cards so far have been a little bit disappointing in some ways, but these last two I think are good ones. So we've got Harry Kane. I did suggest that he might be in this week, and I questioned whether they might make him a fox in the box. They've done it. That to me is very interesting. I do not like deep lying forward, his normal playing style. They've made him a fox in the box. I do like that playing style, especially on a striker who's physical, not the quickest, but he's got a bit of all-round ability. Unwavering form, as he always has. This is an interesting looking card to me. It looks like a good version of Kane. He's a booster as well. We'll turn the booster on in a minute, but we've got a previous Fox in the Box version in Champions League Player of the Week. This is comparable, similar kind of level. Some attributes a bit higher, some a bit lower. So a little bit different, but same playing style, same kind of level overall. We've had some other versions of Kane in the past. I've got an old school one. I think I've got one of the very first one. I got a gold poacher version of Kane from one of the first featured packs, Tottenham pack. I've still got that one. But there's been loads of versions, some of them slightly better, some slightly worse. But not many Fox in the Box versions. That's the key thing. That's the key difference with this version of Kane. So what have they changed? As always, there are some attributes a bit lower than his GP card. So they've taken 5 off his attacking awareness, 3 off his finishing. So initial reaction to that on a striker Player of the Week, you're thinking, why have they done that? But the good news is that we're still going to be going past 90 with the game plan boost on both of those, which is great. I don't think you really need to go far beyond them. So attacking awareness and finishing lower than normal, but still high enough. They've nerfed his balance, 6 off his balance. That's frustrating. Balance is important, but he's got good physical contact. He is physically strong. He's by no means a dribbler or anything. So yeah, a bit of a shame we've lost a bit of balance. But if you look elsewhere, he's had a fairly nice boost. He's pretty tidy on the ball. I've mentioned the attacking awareness and finishing both hitting 90 with the game plan boost. I mean, finishing already hits 90. Passing is nice. Low and lofted, both past 80 on a centre forward. Heading 82, jumping 76 isn't brilliant, but physical 84. So he's not going to be dominant in the air, but you can certainly win headers. Should be decent from crosses. Kicking power 89, that's hitting 90 with the game plan boost. Stamina's decent enough. Pace. Is he quick? No, but he's quicker than he normally is. I think most versions of Kane these days, you're in the 60s for speed and acceleration. So with 73 speed, 76 acceleration, that's a bit of an upgrade. So, on the whole, yes, they've nerfed a few, but I think the only one that's really frustrating is balance. I can live with the awareness and finishing being nerfed a bit for all the improvements we've had. Balance is a shame, but outside of that, I think the improvements that they've made with the attributes elsewhere on the whole, I think they make up for it. I think this is a good looking version of Kane. So, let's have a quick look at his skills. What have they done? Not a lot. We've lost captaincy. They've added long range shooting. That's pretty nice. So, already got a first time shot, long range curler, long range shooting, got a dipping shot, accurate finishing and heading, aerial superiority. You've got all the skills he really needs as a centre forward and a fox in a box. And the booster before I forget. So what gets boosted? Ball control. So that ball control is going to get to what, 89, 90 with your game plan boost. Finishing, okay, so we get some finishing back. Nice. Kicking power goes even higher. Oof. Physical contact goes up to 87, so that's going to get up towards the 90 mark with your game plan boost. I'm not sure if that actually gets to 90, but physically very strong. That kicking power 92, and he's got so hang on. Finishing 93 before your game plan boost. Kicking power 92 before your game plan boost, and we've got long range shooting been added. Yeah, I really want this guy. I want to ping some shots in with this guy. I think this is a really good version of Kane. Playing style is personal preference. It's entirely down to you if you like that or not. But for me personally, I think that's a better playing style. I think it suits him well, especially with the build that they've given him here, with the attributes he's got. I'm brutally honest with a lot of the cards in Player of the Week. Some of them can be really disappointing, but I've got to say, for me personally, looking at this Kane card, this is a really nice looking card, and I'm very keen to get this card. I think this looks like a really good centre forward. And to the surprise of nobody, Lamine Yamal makes it into Player of the Week. So, What have they changed? Is it a good version? It is a good version for sure. It's got unwavering form, just noticed that. Didn't realise he was already unwavering. Don't know when they did that, but that's good. Playing style is the change. So that's the one real downside to this card for me. I don't like a creative playmaker on the wing. It's not the playing style that I want my wingers to have, but that's personal preference. If you don't mind your wingers being creative playmakers, that won't be a problem. Maybe that's good news for you. He's normally a roaming flank, which I do like as a playing style. But outside the playing style change, what have we got? Slightly nerfed him on the ball. Only slightly though. Could have been worse. Certainly looking at certain other cards. Lost a bit of pace. Acceleration. They've taken out 7 off his acceleration. He's had a pretty nice boost on his defending. Great. Passing is up a bit. Good. Finishing is up a bit. Good. Okay. So on the whole, yeah, 1 or 2 slightly weird decisions they've made, but on the whole, still quick, still great on the ball. Got a bit of a boost on our passing and finishing. Don't think we can complain. I think on the whole, we're looking at a fairly nice version of Yamal here. Looking at the skills, we have lost scissors feint and cut behind and turn, and they've given us first time shot and track back. You can understand that actually from if you see the goal that he scored against Girona. Yeah, so a bunch of skill moves. The dribblers will be pleased. Double touch, flip flat, soul control. Pretty sure that's your ball roll, double touch. Long range curler, first time shot. So coming off that right flank onto his left foot, good skills to have. Through passing, nice. Pinpoint crossing, okay. And he's in the 80s for low and lofted pass. Okay, so his passing and crossing will be reasonable. I think this is a nice version of Yamal. I think we know by now not to expect cards in Player of the Week to be, you know, that amazing. They're not going to be on the level of the kind of legend cards that we get in the paid packs, you know, the big paid packs. But all things considered, playing style is personal preference, but with the boost to his end product, I think on the whole, you just got to say there's a nice looking version of Yamal. And again, before I forget, we've not even activated the booster. What are we getting from the booster? Okay, so we get some acceleration back. Attack awareness. Oh, that is interesting. So that goes to 78. So now the attack awareness is going to hit 80 with the game plan boost. Nice. Ball control is going over 90. Nice. And finishing. So finishing was going to hit the 80 mark in the game plan, but it goes past 80 already with A form. So I think that's going to go up to about 83 or so with your game plan boost now if he gets A form. So yeah, all things considered, this is a nice version of Yamal. We've had a Showtime version that was obviously better. That was a real, you know, that was a real paid version. This is better than the free version, apart from the playing style, which might not suit you. Maybe it does, don't know. There will probably be better versions of him, but honestly, this is a pretty good version. I think it's pretty nice looking. So if you're okay with the playing style, you get this card. If you like Yamal, or if you just like inverted wingers on the right wing as a left foot, I think this is a pretty tight looking card. It's a pretty interesting looking version of Yamal. So there's your Player of the Week selection for today. On the whole, I don't think it's too exciting. For me personally, I think Bardakcı is a solid 4-star if you don't mind the fact that he's slow, but he is at least quicker than he normally is. Lukaku, don't like him being a deep lying forward, but if you like that playing style, he could be a decent one for you. They boosted his passing. Troy Parrott, I think for most people, probably not the most exciting one, but he could be worse. If you're new to the game with the awareness and finishing especially, he could certainly do a job for you. David Raya, not as good as previous versions. Don't know why I've taken one off reflexes, but on the whole, he is still a good goalkeeper card. Got a lot of qualities. Hudson-Odoi, I think he's interesting looking. He might not be a top level winger, but left wing, right wing, whole player playing style if you play him as a wide midfielder. I think he's pretty interesting looking. I quite like the look of that card. Dembélé, not the best version of Dembélé that we've had, but just to look at it in isolation, it's certainly a good card, and it's just another Dembélé. He's going to be quick, he's going to be fun on the ball. A little bit of end product about him. Certainly a good version of him. Well, certainly a good card in itself, even if it's not one of the better versions of Dembélé that we've had, although they have made him a bit better in the air, if you think that's going to make a difference for you. Conor Gallagher, really not a particularly exciting card for me. To call him a solid centre midfielder is actually quite kind. I don't think it's that great a card, really. Théo Hernández, is it a good attacking left back? Yes, very attacking, not great at defending. It's not great from his GB card, but beyond that, it's not one of the best versions we've had of him. De Ligt, solid version of De Ligt. Harry Kane, Yamal, these are the two for me. I think Kane, it's a really good version of him. I'm really keen to get him. Yamal, I won't complain if I get him. I don't like the creative playmaker playing style on a winger, but if you do, I think that's a really nice card. So yeah, there's a bunch of cards in there that I think are very usable, very decent. Certainly the best two, Kane and Yamal. There's a bunch in there that probably not too many people will be that keen to get, but a mixed bag with at least a few decent ones in there this week. I've not done the AI event, so I can't do my free spin in the video this time, but I will do that later today when I do my live stream. I'm going to go live about 3 or 4 p.m. on the channel, UK time, and I'm going to do the, whatever you call that 100-player pack. Has it even got a name? Where is it? There it is. What, Epic Worldwide. I'll do my Epic Worldwide spins. I've got 73 spins. I want Franco. I want Dave Seaman. So if you tune in this afternoon, you can watch a grown man cry when I don't get them, because my pack luck's usually terrible. But yeah, I'll be going live 3 or 4. Be good to see some of you come along and check that out. As I mentioned, I will be doing videos reviewing these new league packs as well. Probably get those done over the next few days, over the weekend maybe. So keep your eyes out for those. I might review that Brazilian league pack, but to be honest, it doesn't look particularly interesting. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you found this interesting. Thank you for watching as always. I'll be live this afternoon. Otherwise, I'll see you in the other videos over the coming days. So cheers for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.